All right, guys, welcome back to another episode. We don't even have no one even here. Who the fuck are we talking to? No guy behind the camera.
Nope.
Just me and you hanging out, smoking cigars. We already did, but well, that's the thing. It's like there's only so many new cigars. You know what I mean? And sometimes it's just you're in the mood for something. I wanted something a little more mellow, so we're going with Revival again. People have been loving it. I'm getting all these kinds of messages.
Mm-hmm.
I sent a box to our dear friend John Huber. He loved it. The Dojo guys I know like. So it's making its way around. But I long for the days of something like this. A good anytime cigar. Enough flavor that after a meal it still hits, but not going to kill your palate. Not too strong for the morning. The only thing that this doesn't have is because I have so much invested into it. This doesn't have, like, durability. It doesn't have, like... I wouldn't bring this golfing. But that's me, because I fancy it too much. Like, to me, it's too precious to be brought golfing and, like, relit and everything. But I think to the average cigar smoker, also an excellent golfing cigar. Won't go out on you. Good charge. I got nice and mellow.
Yeah, I think this is a perfect because we just had lunch, pretty heavy lunch. I feel like for me.
Oh yeah, I only had half, dude.
Did you? Yeah.
Yesterday too. We went up to Sleepy Hollow.
Oh, nice.
We had a nice time. Sleepy
Yeah.
Hollow wasn't great, but then we went to the Great Pumpkin Blaze in Croton on Hudson. That was super cool. But we had like a little breakfast early, and then we ate like a late lunch, early dinner at like 3:30.
Yeah.
At this place called Tavern in Croton on Hudson. Really good food. But I got a wrap there that was big, and I only had half that wrap. And then we just ordered for lunch today, and I only got another half. So the past like 24 hours, I've eaten a couple of handfuls of chips and a whole wrap. But I don't know. I'm not hungry. I'm not starving lately, which is good. This one, but Paulie G's, which is a deli that we go to around here, they get our highest compliments.
Yeah, I mean,
they really knock it out of the park.
I think Andy said it best. I've had different sandwiches there, and I've never had a bad sandwich from there. They're all so good. They're always on point. They're always busy. I think that says something.
If I wanted like a super fancy $30 like prosciutto de Parma, like the craziest of the crazy, that's not what you go there for. Paulie G's has versatility. Their roast beef sandwich, their Italian hero, their meatball, their buffalo chicken sandwich, their cheesesteaks are all equally very good. They're not like the best in the state at any of those, but no other place can pivot like they can. Because if you're known for like your fine Italian meats, like we have the $40 a pound prosciutto, the chance of you having a good cheesesteak or good like meatball hero, like you kind of. And then the places that usually have good cheesesteaks, like the chance that you have like, gabagool, like a good Italian, like you usually don't find them mixed. But this Paulie
This has a
G's
great
does
mix.
it.
I've never had their breakfast there. I would love to.
Oh, it's probably on that open griddle in the back.
Yeah.
Sausage, egg, and cheese.
Oh man.
Well, I've been going there, Jesus, 10 years now. More than that. I was there when it was Paulie Senior running it.
And when it was in a different location, right?
No, it was always there.
It was always there.
Paulie
Okay.
Jr., and I think the sign might still be up. He then started a pizzeria on Route 10 across from Il Capriccio.
Gotcha. Okay. Yeah, that's the sign I see. Yeah.
Yeah, but then I think when the father took ill, there's enough pizzerias on fucking Route 10.
Yeah.
I mean, there's a pizzeria next door to Paulie G's.
Yeah, there is. But yeah, there's so many pizzerias on Route 10.
I would, if somebody came to visit me from a foreign land, from elsewhere. Now, if they want, like, I want the best possible one of these things, then you take them to, like, a place that has the best. But if they're like, hey, I just want, like, a New Jersey, like, Italian deli style thing, I'm taking them right to Paulie G's.
Yeah.
Or Vitali's. But, again, Vitali's, it's slightly different. I'm in two different moods. Vitali's is like, me and you are going to a football game and we didn't want to split a sandwich that's got to keep us warm. Because those things are heavy and they're huge. Paulie G's is like a perfect lunch spot.
It is, and it's big enough, like, I don't know. I mean, I could always finish a sandwich from there, but you do struggle because, like, the first half I was kind of like, what? It's so much, but it's so good. It is just so.
No, but you see, I can't feel like that no more. Especially like with all the shit I have to do. So like I knew that I could have eaten that other half today, but I looked at that thing and I'm like, if I eat this,
I'm gonna fall asleep.
Everyone's in trouble.
Yeah.
So I had some extra chips and then I backed off. But now I have half of this wrap, half of my wrap from last night, and then like a bunch of French fries from last night, and I'm like, when am I gonna eat this? But last night's wrap was good too. It was a grilled chicken, gorgonzola, greens, craisins.
Did you eat at the tavern or
take
it to go? Nice.
But then what was really cool was we did the pumpkin blaze, which is like this big exhibit up there at Croton on the Hudson. It's like a old New York town, like right on the Hudson River, and it's at the Van Cortlandt Manor, which is like a historical manor where I guess Johnny Van Cortlandt lived. I don't know, whatever his name was. But it's this ridiculously awesome display, and it takes you about 45 minutes to walk through it, of jack-o'-lanterns and pumpkin art. But it's crazy. I want to say that they had to use 10,000 pumpkins for the whole thing. I'll show you some pictures and you'll know what I'm talking about. They made a whole carousel out of pumpkins.
Really?
They make statues. Then there's a section where it's like art where people like took like 6 pumpkins and did like the Mona Lisa in all 6, and made it a thing. Or they did like a big, like a dragon that was like the size of this room, but it was all connected by pumpkins. So it was really cool. And then my girlfriend got us like the extra VIP tickets where there's like a little tavern called like the Gordon Goblet or something like that. And then you go in there and they give you like a hard cider, a pumpkin empanada, and then like a munchkin. And
wow.
It was fun. I was plotting against the British when I was there. She was trying to have a good time.
Yeah.
I told them like I want to hold the lantern up, and because like the people there were dressed like the guy had like the hat on and
they're reenactors
they were not actually acting. They were just like dressed like that and like, welcome to the goblet. You want like a cider or like a Pinot Grigio, like, and they took your order. Well, I wanted her to like, and then they had a tavern puzzle. It was like all these metal pieces, and it's like a puzzle. I didn't fucking try it, but it was like back before they had internet. This is how they had to entertain themselves. They would get drunk and then try to put like a metal puzzle together. But it was a lot of fun. It was a very nice fall thing to do.
Yeah, no, I've heard nice things about Sleepy Hollow. I've never done any touristy stuff up there.
Sleepy Hollow, the town of Sleepy Hollow was. They
Was
didn't
it
do a
packed?
good job with it. It was packed, but like, I don't know. It felt like you had a couple old-timey things around the town, but then they built like a modern, not great town around it. Whereas like Salem, Massachusetts, or like Portland has very much kept the aesthetic of like what it is. This is like, oh, here's the giant statue that someone made for the Headless Horseman, and it's like right next to a gas station. They just like put a crappy town in the middle of
a historical
area. Like the cemetery was really cool. But also, what you got to remember is like Sleepy Hollow wasn't real. Like, it's not like something actually happened there. It's not like, like, oh, and this is where Paul Revere did his thing. Like Washington Irving just like picked that town and then like wrote that this is, this happened in this town. So it's there's not like a lot to see. And I thought that they could have done better setting the town up to like be this kind of spooky tour. Much like dude, you try to get in a hotel in Salem in the month of October, Salem, Massachusetts. It's like $800 a night. Like they've done an excellent job leaning into that. Salem is like, oh, we're selling T-shirts outside of the gas station with the Headless Horseman on it.
My sister went to Salem. I don't know if it was last year or 2 years ago, and she got to talking to like some of the shop owners there. They said like the fall, like don't make close to like restaurants, coffee shops, don't make close to like $1 million. That will set them up. Yeah, they'll make their year in the 3-month period. Because I'm sure people are. I feel like maybe I don't know, after Halloween people kind of don't go visit, but I feel like even in November at some points it's still
probably the best
popular.
Time, you're getting. Don't forget, October is a transition month into fall. But it's like, it's 80 degrees today.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I would actually say like first week of November is probably
the best
a
way
great time to
to
go
go
to these places because The Halloweeners, people dressed up as a witch running around with tattoos, they're gone.
Yeah.
But it's like you still get to like go to the orchard or like go see the leaves or like go see this thing. It doesn't really matter if it's before or after the 31st of October. And it's so much cheaper. I love an off season. I love going somewhere in some place where like no one else is going there. I love going to a weird time. Like we went to the earliest slot because like there were slots, just for the pumpkin thing, and it was like every hour starting at 6:30, and we went to the 6:30 one because I'm like, listen, it's gonna be sunset by 6:30, but people are gonna want to go to the later one because it's gonna be darker and they can see darker. But by time we like walked through the gate and started our tour, it was already nighttime, so we got the full experience. And then as we were leaving, there had to be 500 more people like in line and then like in their cars. We got in no problem. We had we obviously pre-ordered the tickets, but we got there like a half hour before like they kind of opened the gate. So I'm like, yeah, I love an off hour thing. Give me off hour anytime. Yeah, I'm still gonna get the experience, and also like there's less people. Like I don't like a lot of crowds. People are pushing me. Maybe I want to sit and like look at a thing, but then there's somebody with their 5 little monsters coming up and like they want to look at the thing, or people with no peripheral vision just stop to like take a picture and like don't pay attention that you just walk in the back of them. Or like there would be like these cool bridges where like the whole bridge was decorated with jack-o'-lanterns. It was like a small bridge. It was like a 1-person each way bridge, and there was like a family of 5 that like parked up in front, like in the middle of the bridge to like take this picture. And I'm like, you guys are like there's hundreds of people trying to cross here.
You're not getting it.
But you guys need to get this on your fucking Facebook.
Yeah, you're not getting it, but some people just...
I did drive-by pictures the whole time. I would walk up to it.
No, that's smart.
Walk up to one. Got it.
People aren't aware of other people trying to do the same thing, but you have to do it in a... There's just an order of things.
They're either not aware, or what's worse is they are aware and they don't give a shit. And they're like, I paid my $50 for ticket, so I'm going to stand here. It's like, well, so did I.
Everyone did.
Yeah.
You're not better than anybody else.
What was I? I was somewhere recently. I can't remember. I'm trying to think. Let me think. There was something at a restaurant. I don't know. I honestly can't even remember if it was in a TV show or if it happened to me in real life. But there was something. Oh no! I was at the Warwick Winery, and my girlfriend and her friends know the owner, so he like reserved a table for us. So we had the table, and then we like left a bunch of our, not like purses, but left like our jackets and everything there, and there was a sign on it that said reserved. And we went to go pick the apples, and we came back, and like these 2 groups had like taken all of our table and chairs.
Where'd they put your stuff, or they just leave it?
They left one table, like 3 chairs, and they put it all on that, and they took the other 2 tables and the chairs, and like it was a group of like older women, and then a group of like girls in like their early 20s. It wasn't really the girls in their early 20s because they apologized and like brought us some other chairs. It was these bags.
Yeah. That
were like, and then the lady was complaining to my girlfriend, well, we all paid the same amount. So like, we should get to all have the chair. And you guys were gone for 2 hours. I swear to God, we were gone for about 40 minutes. And my girlfriend told, like, we didn't want to start a fight there. We were fine anyway. I was leaving at that point anyway. But I was like, just because you're paying the same amount, like, but that's what a reservation is.
Yeah.
Like, if I call to get a reservation at a restaurant, you don't get to be like, oh, well, me and you are paying the same amount, so like I should also get a table. It's like, yeah, but I got a reservation. You know how to take the reservation.
Yeah.
you don't know how to hold the reservation.
I was having that same argument a few months ago. We went to one of my dad's favorite restaurants. It might have been for Father's Day. I'm not sure.
Where is it?
It's in Newark. It's
Tony's Hot Dog Truck?
No. El Forno's. It's like a Brazilian.
Like a.
Not like a Rodizio. Yeah, no, not Rodizio, but it's in that area where there are other Rodizios. Though you order like your main like dish, and then they'll bring the table, potatoes, rice, string beans, like things of that nature. And we had a reservation for 7:30, and they didn't sit us until like 10 after 8. And I was the only one that was really like going off about it.
I get butthurt by that.
Because I was like, what? And my dad wasn't really caring, but you could tell like my dad was like, all right, like what's going on? But he was distracted with my daughter, and I guess he was just chilling. I don't know, but I was like, we got here 20 minutes, 10 minutes early, in hopes like, okay, we're gonna give him some time. and then we didn't sit for another like half hour, 40 minutes after that. So what's the point of the reservation?
So
Like, what is it? Like, and because I know they're not going to kick people out or rush people out, but I just don't understand the
there's
point.
one place I saw, and everyone else I was with was mad at this, and I loved this. But it started as a pop up, I think, in the city, and I get it's still kind of a pop up in Montclair, but it's been there a while now. It is called Pasta Ramen.
Yes, I've heard. Yeah.
Excellent. It's like Japanese Italian fusion.
Yeah.
Like chicken cutlet ramen. It's delicious.
Oof.
It's not like I know like that gets down. No, it's very very good. But it's no alcohol. You know, it's BYOB. But because listen, when you're a BYOB place, your money is on the food turnaround, and you need to make because the margin on alcohol is so high. If your money is just in the food, you need to get people in and out of there as fast as possible.
Yeah, yeah.
And they have it in their thing. You have like 90 minutes max.
We've been to places like that.
And
yeah.
we took our time like ordering our dessert. So the dessert came out, and they were like, we had to put it in to-go containers. Like, we need you guys. And like other people that I was with, like my girlfriend was like, oh, that's kind of rude. I'm like, no, like they told us, and like, listen, they only have so many. It's a small place. They only have so many seats. And like when I go out to eat, like if I want to hang out, like I'll go hang out. But when I go to dinner, my purpose here is to eat the food and then leave. If I want to go out for drinks, I'll go out for drinks. If I want to go to somebody's house, I'll go over to somebody's house.
Mm-hmm.
If I'm going to a restaurant eating like tons of good food, I don't want to stay there like 2 hours after that. Like once, in my mind, once the meal is done, you can go to a second location. But like I'm leaving the restaurant because like this restaurant is not for this. Except for like maybe like a bar and grill, like you know, like a Maggie's or something like that, or a Thatcher's, where like you can kind of sit in a booth and get some food, get some drinks. But especially in a place that's not making any alcohol money, you need to get out of there. And I'm like, and I appreciate that because there was probably somebody with a reservation right behind us, and they needed that table. Because that's the problem with these fancy places is like, oh yeah, we can't. They don't want to throw anybody out because as long as they're sitting there, if they're ordering more drinks and everything, that's a lot of money. Did I tell you how I found out about restaurants and wine and why they push wine?
No.
I was listening to a guy. I don't know. He comes up on YouTube clips every once in a while. He's like some kind of entrepreneur, business, restaurateur guy. He's like an older British guy, and he was saying a reason why the restaurants push wine is because people don't really know wines. They know beers and liquor. Like if you gave them a Jack and Coke, they know how much a Jack and Coke should cost. So you can't really gouge them on that. It's got to be like kind of like appropriate of, like they know how much a bottle of Jack costs and they know how much a bottle of Coca-Cola costs. So you can't charge them $40 for Jack and Coke. But wine, they'll just put like a year and like a Pinot Noir or whatever. That could be a $15 bottle, and they can charge you $30 a glass. There's such a big markup on wine. Because even I've been
because
with
people are just uneducated about it.
I know people who do know wine, and some restaurants will have like this is the actual it's the actual name of like the winery or the vineyard, and they'll know like this bottle costs like $60 if you went to a liquor store, or $50 at a liquor store, and they're charging like $135 at the restaurant. Like they'll mark up wine, which is also why there's wine glasses on the table. Why they call it a wine list instead of like a cocktail list or a liquor list. They call it a wine list because they want you to drink wine because they mark that shit up. They're probably making
the double of
60-70% on wine, where maybe they're making 30 to 40 on a beer or whatever. Because again, if I could buy a 6-pack of Sam Adams for $11, you can't charge me $30 for a Sam Adams. You can charge me $10.
Yeah.
But they'll mark
I didn't
up.
know that. That's it.
Yeah.
Well, that is true. I mean, I feel like even I don't know if it's just the age of like my age and the group of people we hang out with. There's not a lot of wine drinkers. Like I feel like
I
it's
know
very
some, but they're not like into it.
Yeah, like my
other
parents are
generations.
into wine.
Yeah.
Like they love the wine, and my dad used to be like I think in between jobs he was like a wine like a sommelier.
Sommelier?
Sommelier. Is it sommelier? Yeah.
Sommelier.
Sommelier.
Yeah.
He was.
Your dad was a sommelier?
Yeah. He went to.
Guy's had 1,000 lives.
Yeah. So many. So I mean, I think him, and like maybe my parents know like really good wine. I don't know. You do like, you look, especially like Italian culture. I feel like red wine is in every Italian's household, like
But
the Carlo Rossi
yeah,
big
but that's the
jar.
thing.
But
There's like there's a couple like $30 bottles of wine that I think are like if you pulled it like a $40 Brunello, I'm like, this is killer. This is a
Yeah.
really good wine. At a restaurant, they'll charge you $110 for that same bottle. Like if you got it and that's what happened when we went to Butcher's Block. Is like she got like a Brunello that it was like $110 on the menu. That same one, if you went to like Bob's Discount Liquors, is like $39.99.
yeah,
So but 90% of people don't know that. They see 2015 Brunello, $110. They don't know like what the brand is or who did they, or even if they brought the bottle out, they're not going to look at that and be like, oh yeah, I know this one's only, and also by the time they bring it out and uncork it, you got to buy it at that point. You can't be like, oh, this is too expensive, send it back.
yeah. It's always funny like when the whole process of that, like when people like will take the sip and like wash around their mouth, like yeah, we'll get it. It's like of course you're gonna get it. It's open, like
There are people who don't. There are like wine like even higher than sommeliers, like taste testers who, if they go to like a place that's known for like their wine selection, they'll know like what a wine is supposed to taste like, and they'll do that. And if it's not what it's supposed to be, they will send it back and be like, this is not, something happened. Either it's a false bottle, or like air got in it, or this has been open for a day. And like they're right. Like they're able to taste that. I can't fucking.
no.
No, I'm getting sloshed. I'm having a couple of glasses of a nice red.
I never
Never a
got
big
it.
white guy.
I was about to say I never got into white wine at all.
I think it's supposed to go with like fish, and I never really ate a lot of fish.
And in the summer, obviously, like it. But yeah, fish and I feel like it's always synonymous with linguine and clams and.
Yeah, I'm not,
but I don't know. I
I'm
mean,
not eating that stinky.
yeah, no,
Smells.
no. The linguine and clams is good.
I'm not eating your smelly spaghetti. All right, give me regular spaghetti. I don't want to. Oh, it smells like the ocean. The ocean stinks. Just give me regular, nice spaghetti. Maybe I'll do a pesto. I'll do that. I made it really good. I made a little pesto over the weekend for the lady.
Can't go
little
wrong,
little
yeah.
ricotta in there.
Can't go wrong with pesto.
No, we watched Harry Potter.
Oh yeah, Harry Potter in the fall and winter is like go to.
I have seen all of them at some point, but I only really remember the first four because I've seen those ones multiple times. After that, that's when everyone like started dying, and so like, I would watch it once. It's kind of like Logan. I watched it once, excellent movie, never gonna watch it again.
Really, I think
No,
I feel like Logan is so
I
rewatchable.
can't. No, but like it's too. I don't want him to go.
Yeah.
Maybe now I can do it because Deadpool and Wolverine. So maybe now it's like, oh, well, like it's not really gone.
Yeah, you can go back and rewatch.
But yeah, like, dude, I mean, hopefully I'm not spoiling it for anyone who hasn't seen Harry Potter. Like, they had to fucking kill the owl. Like, was that necessary?
Yeah.
You killed his parents. You killed his uncle.
I didn't realize.
You killed every mentor the person's had. You had to kill the fucking owl.
Yeah. Take everything away from him.
Ron was still walking around. Ron
Yeah.
was useless.
Yeah.
Like, Hermione was, like, really smart and she knew all the thing. Harry was obviously, like, the boy who fucking did whatever he did. And then Ron was just always like, hey, I'm good at chess. I helped in one movie because I knew how to do chess. And he lost.
But, like, are any of the Weasleys really that good? Like, the brothers, I guess, were,
The
like,
mom
the comic
called,
relief.
what's her name?
Yeah.
Tim Burton's wife.
Beatrix?
Yeah, what's her real name? Helena Bonham Carter.
Yeah.
But somebody, I will say Alan Rickman in that he's tremendous. He's tremendous. Gary Oldman was good, but we only just finished Azkaban, so I only got to see him for like a few minutes. And it is cool to see the kids like become better actors because like rewatching the first one, which I loved as a kid when I was like 10 or 11. Watching the first one, I'm like, man, these kids they're not great.
But I mean,
by the second one, they had gotten tremendously, and then by the third one, they're in it, man.
I'm going to say, this is a debate, Steven, or a conversation, not a debate, that my buddy Steve and I had all the time. You look at actors like child actors now versus 90s, and even now, you mentioned Harry Potter. Like the kids from Stranger Things, like all of them can act. I think all of them are really good. Back then, I felt like you look at like a Macaulay Culkin. Oh, he's just a cute little kid. Like we'll use him for everything. He doesn't really know how to.
He had uncanny comedic timing.
Yes,
for his age.
yes.
But he was good. What was that? My Girl. You know, he fucking
Richie
died,
Rich.
but,
Yeah.
Yeah, but no. But I will say, like, I don't see him being nominated for any Oscars.
No. And I don't know if anyone from like Stranger Things, but you just see like kids and their development with acting at a younger age. I don't know if it's like the parents are putting them in like earlier, like or actually putting them in acting classes.
Well, they're putting kids in like more serious stuff now.
Yeah,
it used to be like child actors were usually like Shirley Temple, and and then every once in a while they would be in a horror movie, or they would be Gregory Peck's son in Kill a Mockingbird.
Yeah.
But usually, like if the movie was centered on children, it was some kind of lighthearted Home Alone-esque.
Yeah,
Little now Rascals. They're putting them in like, dude, Harry Potter. They're trying to kill these kids.
Yeah.
Every movie, they're trying to kill these fucking kids. And they can't. A bunch of grown-up... Oh, and I had a whole point here. We're going to end on here, because this pissed me off. So, Malfoy and his father, Jason Isaacs, tremendous actor.
Yes.
Love him. But he hates muggles, because they're not magic folk, and he hates, like, half-blood people who are, like, half... their parents are either both... muggles or like half a mug. But here's my thing. If you are a wizard, it doesn't matter if your parents are wizards. You're a wizard. You have Hermione has the same amount of magic as Malfoy. Yeah. She doesn't have less magic because her parents were not. And then guess what? If she married another guy who was full blood, their kid would be full. So it's like, it doesn't really matter. Like, she's as strong as you, and her parents aren't mad. She got more magic than you do.
Yeah.
She has double magic.
Yeah, I never understood that part, I guess.
It's like, your parents weren't magic. It's like, but I am. So, like, here. Like, it's like you're born with it or you're not. I can understand him not liking maybe non-magic folk for whatever.
I wonder what, like, the social...
It's like, oh, you're not pure. It's like, I am, though, because I have... There's no, like, half magic. You get full magic or you get nothing.
Yeah. I wonder what the social commentary, like, what was that? I want
to start a conversation.
Because I guess I never understood that part. That part for, like, why they always hated half-bloods or mudbloods, right? Sorry.
Yeah, I mean, it's not like how people are discriminatory against, like, people who are racist or anti-Semitic, where it's like you can't have like two non-Jewish people just have like a Jewish baby that comes out of nowhere. Yeah. Like it doesn't work like that. But for magic, it does. Yeah. Like you just come out magic. So they're magic.
Yes, yeah.
So I don't get what his problem is.
Why he's so angry.
Yeah, it's making me angry.
Going back to Alan Rickman. Kevin Smith, I guess, did an interview a few weeks ago, and he had a really funny story because he was really close with Alan Rickman, and there was a few, I guess, after Dogma, Alan Rickman invited Kevin Smith to go see a play in the city, and they were like catching up and all that. And Kevin Smith's like, where are you living in the city? And he said, like, I'm on the Upper East Side, but I need to tell you something. I live in the same, like, Ralph Fiennes lives in the same, like, building as me. And he's like, and Kevin was like, oh, that's pretty dope. He's like, no, like, Kevin, like, you can't understand. Harry Potter fans cannot find out that Snape and Voldemort live in the same location. I thought that was pretty funny. But yeah, I mean, dude, my impression of Alan Rickman was Hans Gruber and then Snape, and then you see Love Actually, and you're like, oh, all right, like But yeah,
you're missing the Sheriff of Nottingham.
Yes.
Dogma was actually a big one for me.
Yeah. I love Galaxy Quest.
Galaxy Quest was big. Well, you can't,
But he was great at playing an asshole.
Yeah.
But yeah, you, all the stories you hear about him, how he was just nothing but like a wonderful guy.
He was the nice, like he was super, like him and Daniel Radcliffe were like super close. They're all like, except for all of the main grown-ups, like the main grown-ups that were in like most of the Harry Potters. Hagrid, both Dumbledores.
Yep. Maggie
McGonagall.
Smith. Yep.
and Snape are all gone. Gary Oldman's still
Yes,
around.
yeah.
Lupin is still around. Ralph Fiennes, but they weren't in all of them.
No.
Like the core four.
The core four that were in the entire series.
And Warwick Davis, but he played like 19 different.
Yeah.
They just like every year they had like a new dwarf teacher, and it was just him. And
It was just him because they're like,
he was never the same guy twice.
Nope, you know it was him, but
because his voice is like
is very distinct.
Yeah. All right. Well, this was a fun one, guys.
It was.
We're getting to that time of year where
we're like in the limbo part of the year.
We have stuff coming up, but like we're not quite there. We have our top 25 coming out, soon.
We might dress up next week for our episode if you want.
Yes, we might dress up next week for our episode. I don't know. I don't know if I'm gonna dress up for the podcast because I don't know if they're gonna get my costume, and I don't want to.
Yeah.
I don't want to make that inside joke too out.
Gotcha. Yeah. No,
but
so we can keep. Yeah, we can.
We'll see. We'll definitely
enjoy some Halloween
treats.
treats.
We're gonna do the Halloween. We got Halloween treats, and we do our annual. Let's talk about Halloween spooky movies. But I think that's all for today. Thank you very much for watching or listening. Make sure to comment, like, and subscribe. And as always, keep it lit.